Yeah, hi, I'm Vasundhara, founder of Read to Lead. And every month, first Sunday, we have a session where author or industry specialist comes and speaks on a particular book, and the forum is open for discussion. And it's always a great experience, enjoyable Sunday morning. But today, for Feb session, we had a celebrity actor, screenwriter, director who has worked in all the languages, say Hindi, Malayalam, Marathi, and English theater, Hindi theater. I think the list is endless. And he was there to talk about his book, Once Upon a Prime Time. And let me tell you, what an awesome experience it was. So thank you so much, sir, for coming on this forum and being there as a speaker for Read to Lead members. So I
Pleasure
just
was
want
all
to know.
mine. Let me tell you, the pleasure was all mine. And thank you so much. Thank you, Vasundhara. Thank you, Read to Lead, for even considering me and my book worthy of such, I would say a learned, very knowledgeable group of members which you have. And frankly, I must admit, I was very nervous addressing them, hoping not to make a fool of myself because they're all very, I mean, their plane of thinking is very high. And I was hoping that something as what we consider trivial or frivolous as television would be appealing to them. But the session turned out to be very rewarding, and thank you so much for that.
The other session that I would expect from you is how to stay humble even after being there where you are today, because that's one thing so many people said. The continuous flavor that we could feel in that entire session was the man is a celebrity in his own space, but he was so humble. So I think we should have one session on how to achieve that.
I have to clarify this. Let me tell you something about this. Why do we actually single out someone for being humble or being just modest? Because I feel that that's the way we should all be. Why is it becoming such a great virtue or something to sort of really gloat over? I mean, isn't that the way we should all be, irrespective of what we have achieved or what we have not achieved? Instead of being bitter if we are failures, or instead of being on cloud nine if we are successes. I think we just have to keep our feet very rooted, and our head on our shoulders, because the minute you lose that balance, it's a mental balance that you if you lose that, your entire sphere of activity is disbalanced, and then you end up doing exactly the opposite of what you are. So probably because we have lost a lot of values along the way, and over the past few decades, everything has, attitudes have changed. The tolerance levels have gone down, that suddenly we feel that professionalism and honesty and sincerity and being humble have suddenly become virtues. I mean, it's become so rare. It's a sad thing that, it's like a movie. If I watch a film and if I say the locations are wonderful and the photography were wonderful, that means the movie has not worked. I mean, I'm singling out certain things. You know, a person has to work in totality. Whether it's his work, whether it's his behavior, whether whatever, spirituality, anything, professionalism. So I feel that all that should come together to make a complete man. And so I don't, really carry this modesty or humility on my shoulders and try and, make some kind of a spectacle out of it. It's the way I
It's the
am.
way.
I don't make an effort at it.
Absolutely. I agree to every word that you uttered just now. Completely agree. And I'm so happy. I'm so glad that we had you today. Uh, Now, the first question which I would like to ask you is, why did you even think of writing this book? Obviously, there has been such a long journey, but then the prime reason that you thought of writing this book.
I realized that I've had some of the most enlightening encounters and experiences with so many filmmakers during my journey on television. It's been 40 years, and I haven't even bothered to, maintain a diary where I know, where I just jot down my experiences, my adventures, my interactions, and maybe read them later at a later stage in life, and go down memory lane. And but then I realized that these 40 years have also meant, a collective experience with a lot of filmmakers. And there has been, unfortunately and coincidentally, there has been nobody who has actually run the entire gamut of the television industry from 1983 till date. So I thought I would be, I would qualify to write about the entire 40 years, and maybe make it something very enjoyable, reading material, nostalgic reference, whatever you call it, autobiography for the reader. At the same time, it could be some kind of go-to book if you wanted to know something of what happened, at least in the Hindi sphere of television in India over the past 40 years. So I realized that it would be the right time to pen down my thoughts as like a story, but at the same time, even not just me as the main player in that, but all my peers and all my, all those veterans whom I had the good fortune of working with, whom I looked up to. I wanted to include their work also, even if I had not worked with them. So that's why, in totality, it's a book that probably encompasses all the 40 years of Indian television so far, and was very, very tempting. So that's why I wrote it.
Definitely. I think after the session, all the even the book orders have been flooded on the WhatsApp group, and we've already shared it with the publishing company. So that was the effect of the session today. Uh, you have been a actor, you've been a screenwriter, you've been a director, you've been part of television, movie, and theater, and now an author. And today I also saw you in a completely different avatar, that is of a a speaker who can mesmerize the audience. So which is that one role that you see yourself enjoying the most?
I guess it's all allied. Whether it's writing, acting, directing, communicating, they're all allied arts, and you really can't separate each one from the other, because it's like a full body. I mean, if you take the head as the director, the face as the actor, the hands and the mind as the writer, you have all of them sort of integrated into one being. But if you really ask me to alienate any of them and say which is my favorite, I would say yes, performing on stage is something that I really enjoy. It's very rewarding. It's magical to perform in front of an audience live and get the reactions right there and then, and the way you evoke their emotions, whether it's laughter or whether it's tears or silences. That's the magic I think every actor would like to live through, and that's where I enjoy myself the most, the theater.
Absolutely. I think I've heard this from many. What I thought was, for whatever roles that you've played, one connecting thread that I could see is the urge to express yourself to the fullest. And I think that's what has made you, go through from this role to that role. But ultimately, that urge has been satiated by what you kept on doing in different roles, is what how I look at it.
I think one in one word, I looking back at my entire career, and the urge that you spoke about is, I could just describe myself in one word as an entertainer, because it's the urge to entertain.
Great. So, last but not the least, sir, how did you enjoy speaking at our forum, Read to Lead? How did you, what was the experience interacting with our members?
I'll tell you something, it was so important to have founded an organization like this, Read to Lead. I mean, during times when people have forgotten to read, forget reading books, they can't even read the time, on an analog clock when with two needles on them. You can't even read that. I'm glad that you have retained the essence of knowledge, and that is reading, and Read to Lead. You will lead only if you read. It's so correctly titled and, very aptly put. And I would say you are, making sure that the values that we have, in which we learnt as children of reading and writing are not lost to a generation that is now fed on high-tech gadgets. There was a time when people were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Today they're born with an iPhone in their mouth.
All in there. True, true. Out,
So
true.
I don't know which is the more dangerous one.
Yes, true.
But today, little children or the new generation or generation next prides itself in being tech savvy, which is a very good thing. I mean, one must progress, one must, but do not forget where it all started. And it started with the alphabet, it started with the letter, it started with the page and the book. And the smell of the printed page
You
is
said
something
it.
that a Kindle will never impart to
You
you.
said it.
So I'm so glad, and I'm grateful. And, please, all strength to you. Continue this, I wouldn't even say organization, I would say mission, to make sure that people read. People do not forget the habit of reading. Whatever happens, it's like breathing. It's like getting up in the morning. It's like breathing. It's your daily exercise. It's a routine that you cannot afford to neglect or forget. So, Read to Lead is, I think, the byline for today's generation. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that there are a lot of youngsters who came in and listened to the session. And that is the breed that we have to sort of, we've got to inculcate this habit in that breed and make sure that the reading habit never dies.
True, true, true. Thank you so much, sir, for all those kind words for our initiative. And I'm sure all our members are going to be, having that grand smile on their faces when they hear these words from you. Thank
You
you
can
so
be,
much,
you
sir.
can be justifiably proud of yourself and your entire team and the whole set of members. And I'm sure that they will propagate this further, and get more membership into the group. And we will have readers, and we will be able to write more books, and more people will read.
So
So
that's a deal, sir. So you're writing a new book, and we are going to have you again on the forum.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.